Okay, so in last class, we were studying about Mendel's law, and we studied that Mendel considered 7 characters. Okay, out of this, we will go for monohybrid and dihybrid cross. In monohybrid, we will take one, and in dihybrid cross, we will take any of two. Okay, now suppose that is the chromosome of P. Okay, that is the chromosome of P, and we know that chromosomes are present in pair. So this is the chromosome P, and it is having, we are going to learn about 3 characters. First character we will learn about stem height. Okay, there are 7 which was considered by Mendel. Okay, but we will consider only 3 characters, and from these we will go for monohybrid and dihybrid cross. So Mendel choose 3 things. Okay, so Mendel choose this character, that is stem height of P. Second was seed shape, and third was seed color. Okay, and for characters there were some traits. For stem height it was tall and dwarf. And for seed shape it was round and wrinkle. Okay, that is round and that is wrinkle. Okay, for seed color it was yellow and green. Okay, so this was considered as dominant who will win always, and these 3 was recessive, those will cannot win or they are weak. Okay, so dominant will win for always and recessive will not win for always. Now suppose this is our chromosome, and in this chromosome there is a character, and this particular location represents the gene of height. Okay, so this is the gene of height in P, and suppose in both of the gene are of tallness. So when we will learn about this thing, okay, when we are having 2 things, that is dominant and recessive. So whenever you are presenting a dominant thing, then you will take, you cannot write tall and dwarf, okay, because it is very time consuming. So I will write, for dominant you have to take a capital letter, remember, for always capital. Okay, and for recessive you will use a small letter. Okay, suppose if I'm writing tall, then instead of tall I will use T because it is dominating, and for dwarf, because it is recessive, okay, I will use small t. Okay, for round I will use capital R, and capital means it is winning, that is dominant. And for wrinkle I will use small r. Okay, I will not write every time wrinkle and round. Instead of this, I will just use this letters for representation. And for yellow, okay, I will use Y. And for green, I will use small y. Okay, or whatever you write. Okay, but just try to remember that either you're writing first or second ABCD, doesn't matter. But for dominant, you have to use capital, and for recessive, you have to use small. Doesn't matter you are writing first ABCD or second ABCD. If you are writing this type of R, then it doesn't matter. Okay, it is also very good, no problem. Just try to write these 3 in capital, and other than these write in small. First, second, third or fourth ABCD, remember, it doesn't matter that you have to write this in this or particular. No, you can write like this R, you can write this R. Okay, doesn't matter. So this is my chromosome, and is the in this chromosome, okay, I'm having this P is having tall and tall at both side. Okay, so this is P and this is chromosome of P, and one chromosome it is getting from its mother and one chromosome it is getting from its father. Absolutely. Why? Because each and every organism which is reproduced by sexually by mother and father, because P is produced by flower, and seed are if you find seed, that means it is the result of sexual reproduction. Seed is a result of sexual reproduction. That means two gametes are fused. One was pollen and one was egg, and then they fuse. Okay, then the seed is produced, that is 2n. Okay, so in P there are 14 chromosomes. So from pollen from father, okay, it is bringing 7 chromosome, and from egg, or that is its mother, okay, it is taking 7 chromosomes. So total number of chromosome in P is 14. Okay, so in this thing, okay, both are dominant. Okay, now if there are the same type of trait, okay, both are capital, okay, then it is known as homozygous. Homozygous. Okay, homozygous, and it is dominant. Why so? Because you know that at the both side dominant thing is present, that is capital T, and as it is same at the both side, that is known as homozygous dominant. Okay. Now if I will go for second case, this is chromosome, one it is getting from father and one it is getting from its mother. Okay, if it is having this type of T, then we will say this homozygous recessive. Homozygous means both are same and it is recessive. You can see that is recessive. Okay, and finally if it is having a thing like this, and obviously one he is getting from its mother and one it is getting from its father. Now in this third case, if it is having this or this, okay, or vice versa, it can be like this or this. Okay, so it doesn't matter that which allele is present at which side, it can be present here, it can be present or another chromosome. So one is capital and one is small, so it is known as heterozygous. Heterozygous. Okay, and again it is known as dominant. Why? Because I told you on that particular class that dominant is a winner. Okay, and when there is dominant and recessive, the effect of recessive is nullified, it is negligible. Recessive cannot represent itself when a dominant is present, so it is heterozygous first of all because two alleles are totally different and there is influence of dominant. Okay, so it is known as heterozygous dominant. Okay, because there is no effect of this recessive at all. Even though it is present and it is negligible, okay, it will not consider. Okay, it is present, yes, but it is not considered. Okay, so I'm taking a new slide, and now, okay, these all chromosomes are alike. They are exactly same. I'm just denoting three types. Okay, these are three types of P. It is homozygous dominant. It is heterozygous dominant. And this is homozygous recessive. Homo means equal. Okay, but it is recessive. Okay, now it is terminology. Now how do they look exactly? Do they look? Okay, that is internal thing. Now remember that we are having actually two terminologies, that is one is genotype and another one is phenotype. Okay, so actually how do they look? Something is very different inside and something is very different outside. So I'm writing something that is known as inside and outside. Okay, actually inside it is TT, inside it is TT, and inside it is TT. Okay, but outside it will definitely look tall. Why it is look tall? Because these alleles are, it is for dominant and it is for dominant. Okay, that's why T is for tallness. We know this. Okay, this T is for tallness, so it will look tall, and because both T are dominant, so definitely it will look tall. Okay, now in this case, okay, this is the internal thing, but what happens that we know that this T is dominant, okay, and this T is recessive. Okay, dominant will win for always and recessive will lose for always, and the recessive will cannot express, the recessive cannot express itself when the dominant is present. Okay, so it will also look tall, but it is just for externally. Okay, it is tall, but it is externally tall. Inside, it is not pure tall. It is impure tall. Why? This is pure tall because from its mother and because from its father, it is getting pure. Okay, from mother and father it is bringing the character, a trait of tall, but in this case, okay, from one parent it is bringing tall and from one parent it is bringing dwarf, but dwarf cannot win over tall, or recessive cannot win over dominant. That's why the internal thing is totally different and the external thing is totally different. That is, it is looking tall but it is not pure tall. Okay, but from outside we, how do we know that what is taking place inside? So it is just outside result, and at this side it will be small. Okay, it will look very small from outside and it is very small from, so it will look small. Okay, from, because from both of the parents it is getting something small. Okay, so these two are recessive. Okay, these two are recessive. So the exact reason is that the recessive is expressing this small t cannot represent itself here, but this small t is able to represent itself only when both of them are recessive. You can see both of them are recessive. That's why when tt will come together they can express themselves. But when these things come together, then this small t cannot represent itself because it loses. That's why there will be only effect of these t. Okay, and there will be not effect of this small t. And if this is case, there is not a problem because both of them are winner, so both of them will express themselves. But in this case, only the tt, or we can say the recessive thing, will express themselves, all each and every recessive thing. Okay, when 2tt will come, then they will express. When it is getting small t from its father and mother, then it will be dwarf. When it is getting small r from both of the parents, then it will be wrinkle. And when it is getting small y, okay, or the allele that is responsible for green, then it will represent itself. If there will be a single dominant gene, that then there will be the chances of winning of dominant gene and only dominant win. That's why we know that dominant is winner and recessive is loser. Okay, so recessive only it can express when it is alone. Okay, recessive can express only when it is alone. So you can see now it is tall because both of them are small, and that's why it can represent. Now it is tall, but it is not pure tall, and I will say that it is impure tall. Okay, and it is pure tall. Okay, so these are something external and internal. So only the problem externally and internally is with this case, with this heterozygous. Why so? Because it is not pure from internally, it is getting two different type of allele from its father and mother, but externally it is showing that I am tall, and this is showing that I am tall, then it is pure tall. There is no problem there. It is having both type of allele. or trait. Okay, both of the trait are for tall, and here both of the trait are for dwarf. Okay, so these two are very correct. Okay, but this is showing something different. It is internally different with this, but it is showing that I'm tall. So both of them looks tall externally, but one is pure and one is totally impure. Okay, so if you are having any type of doubt, you can ask me, or I am going further to next topic to start the next topic, and don't hesitate to ask. Okay, now we are going to learn monohybrid cross. Okay, so for monohybrid cross, out of these seven characters, okay, this is trait. Okay, remember, and trait can be so many. I told you that I is our character and I colors are traits. Okay, all of us are having eye color, that is character, and we are having different type of eye colors, that is our trait. Okay, so out of these seven character you can choose anyone, but as Mendel picked sorry, our book picked the character of height, that's why I'm picking height. You can take anyone, and we will consider only about one character. So according to book, I'm taking stem height. Okay, so stem height, there will be definitely two type of traits, that will be small and dwarf. So for tall, it will be capital T, and for dwarf, it will be small t. Now let's begin. Mendel choose two type of plant. Okay, Mendel choose two type of plant, and both of them were very pure. Okay, pure means first of all this is pure, and second of all this is pure. Okay, it is not so pure, it is a mixture. It is not truly tall, it is impure, because one thing is different and one thing is different, but because dominant effects recess you, and the expression is expression goes with dominant, that's why it will look tall, but it is not tall. Okay, but Mendel took two parents, and both of these two parents were very pure. So Mendel took one pea plant, tall, and one pea plant, dwarf. Okay, but Mendel took very pure thing. Okay, both of these plant, okay, there will be father and mother of both of these plant, and they were very pure. Okay, so there is no something intermediate. Okay, Mendel never picked this one. Mendel never picked this one. Okay, now Mendel, this is pea plant, and pea plant is having both male and female. So Mendel take egg from this, and Mendel take pollen from this. Okay, so he will be a father, and she will be mother. Okay, so Mendel took this. Now Mendel crossed them. Okay, how to cross them? You know that they are TT or they are 2N. Okay, they are 2N. We know that each and every individual having double copy, having a pair of chromosome. Okay, so when they will form gamete, so what happens with gamete? Okay, this is just a plant. So Mendel took egg from mother, and Mendel took pollen from father, and father is totally dwarf and mother is very pure tall. So now they will form gamete. Okay, and what happened with the gamete? I'm writing mother here, and I'm writing father here. Okay, so mother is having TT. Okay, so this TT, okay, in gamete formation, in meiosis, if you remember about, I told you about meiosis is a particular type of cell division in which only and only gametes are produced, and in gamete production the number will get half. Okay, the number will get half. So if I tell you about this, okay, this is the cell and this is its TT. Okay, so it has to halve the number. So what happened, that it will push the copy of 1T here, and it remain with the 1T, and there will be division with half half. Okay, that is a particular type of division, cell division, which only forms gamete. It is not for regular cell division. Each and every cell of our body, or P, okay, every cell of P, like its leaf and its root and its stem, is made up of TT. Okay, each or every cell is made up of TT, that is the regular cell, but the pollen will be only having TT. Okay, that is for pollen. It is gamete. Okay, because it has to fuse with mother. That's why that is half number, and so the mother will form two cell, that will be TT, and this TT will divide into this TT. They will differentiate. Okay, so there will be half half. Okay, it will get half. Okay, now same thing father will do, that is TT, and it will just make the half copies, because that is gamete, that is pollen, so it will form TT. Okay, now these cells are specific cell. You can write that these are egg, and you can write also these are pollen. Okay, so egg and pollens are having half number. Okay, and same thing in humans it is, or in animals it is having half number. So pollen and egg are having half number of chromosome. Okay, what is the meaning of half number of chromosome? This is the double number of chromosome, and if I consider half number of chromosome, you know, each and every time I say that it is getting from one from its mother, and it is getting half from its father. So that is the thing. Okay, if you want to make this, then this one and this one. Okay, and if you want to make this, then it will be like this one, and it will be like this one. Okay, and they are having T. Okay, it is T here, small t is here, and small t is here. Okay, so and for parents, if I want to draw about parents, so parents are like this, and these parent are like this. Okay, so this is the parent. Okay, and this is the parent. Okay, and now they are getting half. Okay, they are getting half. So I am removing this, so you can understand in better way. Wait for a minute. Okay, now they are divided into half half. Okay, they are not normal cells, they are very specific cells. They are known as gametes. Gametes always goes for half. In humans, sperms and ova goes for half, because they will fertilize with another gamete. Male gamete will fuse with female gamete, and here there are pollination agencies. What are pollination agencies? Some agencies will bring this pollen, the pollen from father to mother. Okay, you remember this? Okay, and the pollen will come here. Okay, and there will be fertilization. So there will be some agencies like birds and wind. Okay, that will bring the pollen from father to mother, and pollens are having a small thing, a small height. Okay, just draw this, and we will go for cross. Okay, now remember that not only two gamete will form, two type of gamete will form. Remember that only two type of gamete will form, not two. Okay, now just I'm crossing this. Okay, I'm crossing this T with this T, and this T with this T. Okay, so first of all, I'm taking first thing, and I'm crossing this. So it will be this small t with this capital T. It will be T and T. You have to write capital at first. Okay, and second case, same thing will happen, T and T. Yeah, this is Punnett square. Okay, you can see that is a square. Okay, it is drawn in form of a square. Okay, this shape is known as Punnett square. Okay, and I'm crossing this to this one, and again I'm crossing this to this one. So you can also see T this shape is known as Punnett square. Okay, it is in the form of a square. Let me show you the exact shape. Okay, it will be in the shape of a square. Okay, that is, it will be in the shape of this square. This is particular square. Okay, but right now I'm crossing it. So two t. Okay, so one chromosome from one parent and another chromosome from another parent, and it will be each and every time I say that one it is getting from its mother and one it is getting from its father. Just write TT. Okay, that is my answer, but now I'm drawing this how it will look like. TT and TT. Okay, they will look like this. You can only like TT. It doesn't matter that you will draw each and every time the chromosome. Okay, this only writing TT is sufficient. It is not important that each and every time you will draw the chromosome. Okay, it is not important. I'm having my idea that what will I get. Now I know that one it is getting from mother and one it is getting from father, one it is getting from mother, one it is getting from father, one it is getting from mother, one it is getting from father, one it is getting from mother, one it is getting from father. Okay, now we get this, it is known as F1 generation. Okay, it is known as F1 generation. Okay, because this is our F1 generation, this is Mendel's F1 generation. Okay, and all of the four are look alike. You can see that all of the four are TT, 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 TT. Okay, so they are actually heterozygous tall. Okay, you can see all the four are heterozygous tall. It is looking like this entire one. Okay, you can see this, all of them are equal. So I'm writing this on another. Okay, that is a square. Okay, that is a perfect square. Now I'm not writing about their parents, I'm just writing a very brief thing. Okay, this will. Okay, and all of them are heterozygous tall, because they are heterozygous and they will look tall. Of why tall? Because they are having that specific type of arrangement that they will look so tall. Okay, this capital T will win over this small t. Now they are result of fertilization, and we studied that when pollen and seed gap, pollen and egg get fuses. We studied this so many times. Okay, this is nothing new for you. That when pollen and eggs fertilize, they will form seeds. So actually they are seeds, but they are having the information. Okay, these all four are seeds actually. They are seeds, but they are seeds, but these seeds are having information that whenever you grow, okay, you have to develop a plant which will heterozygous tall. Okay, so they are having the information of heterozygous tall. So whenever the seed will grow and develop into a new plant, the information should reflect that they will be tall but heterozygous. So the seeds will develop with such information. Okay, now again, Mendel saw this seeds underground. So this is underground. Okay, and Mendel took these seeds, okay, and grow one by one all the seeds. Okay, we will only study about one. So there is a development of plant. Okay, now the plant is very tall, but with these particular information, that is the information is TT. Okay, so the plant will be tall for sure. Okay, the plant is tall, but with this information that it is not impure. Okay, so all the seed will be sown, but we will going to learn about only one. Okay, so a plant is grown, and that is the plant. Okay, and it is tall. Okay, that is tall plant. but the information it carries, that will TT. Now remember that it is two, again it is having two allele because it is not a gamete. I told you that other than gamete, other than pollen and egg, or if I talk about humans, then other than sperm. Okay, and why they get half? They get half, you know that from here they get half, half goes to here and half goes to here. And again in this case, okay, they will go to half, half will go to here and half will go to here. So when they will fuse, they will get double again. Okay, that's why only gametes get half, because when they will fuse, they will go double again and they will maintain a equal number. Okay, so and this is very important thing, that why gamete half. Now this is a plant and this is not a gamete for sure, then it is the information, it is double information, and it get one T from its parent, and one parent, and one T from its another parent. Now as this is the flower, and this flower, okay, this will have a flower, okay, because this is a pea plant, and definitely pea is a bisexual plant, so it will have it is having this flower, and this flower is having both pollen and stigma, and the male and female part. Okay, so the information, okay, what will be the stigma? The There will be a flower. Okay, it remember one thing, at very any point, okay, if you feel any type of difficulty in understanding, then don't hesitate me to ask, because this thing I'm telling you just in little advance, okay, so that you can improve your concept, that what exactly happening, and you don't need to go for that rectification type of thing. Okay, it is very boring, rectification. Okay, so this is pea plant and it is having the information of TT. Okay, it is not a gamete, but we are having two things. So gamete, we are having flower, and flower will surely form a gamete. So this is a carpal part, that is female again, and that is a pollen part. Okay, and third it will form a male gamete again. So you know that gamete is half in number. Okay, but the information of this plant is TT. That is the real information. But we know that gamete has to be half, so the father is having the information of this, and mother is also having the information of this. Why this information? Because they are developed from same plant, so they are having this information. But when they will form gamete, they has to be half. So I'm going to cross this, and I'm making this, I'm writing this. Okay, so there is a mother and there is a father. Okay, now it is having the information of TT, and it is also having the information of TT. But as uh, they are going to produce gamete, they both of them have to reduce the number of chromosome, then they can form a pollen and egg perfectly. Okay, that is the thing here. Okay, that is the original thing, and I told you how to draw this. Okay, so they will look like, now they have to be half. Okay, why they have to be half? Because when they will go for half, they will fuse and they will maintain their original number. So instead of drawing chromosome, okay, I'm just going in a direct method. So it will get half into TT. Okay, and this will get half into T and T. Okay, I'm not drawing chromosome. It is not important for you to draw chromosomes every time. You can just go directly. Okay, now fuse it. First of all, the problem with digital pad is to draw very clear cut lines, straight lines. Okay, this is again our Punnett square. Actually, it should be in square form. Okay, I'm crossing this T. Okay, they get half only because these are gametes. Okay, these two are gametes. These two are gametes, separate gametes, because they has to go half. Okay, other than this they will come, because if they will get half, then they will maintain their original number. So I'm crossing this T with this T. I'm crossing this T with this T. Okay, one this is father, so pollen will fuse with egg. Okay, and again I'm going to cross with these two. Okay, so it will be TT TT. Okay, same thing I'm going to do with this. This T will with this T and this T with this T. Why one pollen is fusing with one egg? Okay, it will be TT and it will be TT. Okay, now look this carefully. Okay, I'm just taking this on another page. Okay, and you can see the number, original number is maintained. Original number has maintained. Okay, so each and every time the gamete should go for half. The gamete should go for half. You can see each and every time we are making the gamete half. If the gamete will get half, then in, I mean, pollen or egg, then they will fuse with another gamete. Pollen is fusing with egg, or egg is fusing with pollen to maintain the original number. That is the reason, or that is the basic criteria of sexual reproduction. Each and every time the gametes from parents, okay, not all the cells, only the gametes like sperm and ova, pollen or egg get half, and when will they will fuse with another gamete, they will maintain the original number. Now these four things I'm getting, and it is known as F2 generation. Okay, I'm taking this on another page. Okay, that is Punnett square. It looks like a square. Okay, now tell me one thing. How does it look like? It will be pure tall. Okay, this is impure tall. This is again impure tall. Okay, and this is pure dwarf. Okay, so externally two things are very clear, but these two are externally different and internally different because they are tall, but they look exactly tall. Only we know that the internal thing is different, that is that small t is, but due to this capital T, the small t is hiding because small t is recessive and capital T is dominant, and because of these three things will come. Okay, externally these three will look alike, that is tall. Okay, and only this will look dwarf. Okay, so these three will out of four, these three will look so tall. Okay, exactly same, only we know that what is the internal problem. Okay, but externally all of them will look exactly tall. Okay, and this one will look small. So that is the ratio of F2 generation, that is 3:1. Okay, that is the ratio we are getting. Now I'm showing you the picture of your NCERT book, and you can see it is F1 generation and it is F2 generation, and they did like they're dying and they need to do something very 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 fast at the speed of light. So that is clear cut. Okay, this is not this much short, that's why you're having a problem in understanding. So first of all, it is how much long it is and how we did this. So this is diagram from our NCERT. Okay, so that is the ratio you obtain at F2 generation and F1 generation. So this is the thing, and uh, this time, okay, this is the result of F1 generation. What is the result of F1 generation? All was TT. You can see the result of F1 generation, all of them were are TT. Let me show you that this is my F1 generation. We did this is our F1 generation, and all of them are TT. You can see all of them are TT. They will tall, okay, but they are not pure tall, that is they are TT in F1 generation. You can see this. Okay, and in F2 generation, okay, that is the F2 generation, that is F1 generation, all of them are TT. Okay, and F2 generation, you can see these three are tall. You can see these three are tall. Okay, and these